Hey, John, look at that. They got it right this time. We had
Oh, finally.
our
Like it.
actual
Finally.
intro for Let Him Run here, John. We had no intro. We had a football intro. Maybe that is a good sign that today is going to be a good day as we continue to remain super excited. Certainly, we have some, and we're going to have some really more good things to talk about as the week goes on, as we all get excited for the Breeders' Cup. As John said, it's like Christmas and Christmas Eve all together. I know you've been working hard, John. What's going on?
Just Breeders' Cup right now, and then I did dive into this Keeneland card last night, and it was pretty fun. So I will be checking out Keeneland's last day today. Interesting sequence. Just hopefully get the ticket structure right. I keep switching back and forth, a million different ways. So hopefully we get it right. But it's all Breeders' Cup now till next Friday for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way. I printed out all kinds of the past performances that, again, still have some information yet to be given in terms of post positions, jockeys. But I was able to get the speed figures from the U.S. Time Forum on the time pace on the DRF form. They give you different options, John. There's like time form. There's a couple of classic PPs, and there's something else. What do you usually use when you jump on that?
Classic PPs. I'm classic PPs. I have to print them all out. I just go through so much paper, but I need to have it in my hand. I need to be listening in one ear, writing down on the other ear. A lot of guys now use their iPads and they just scroll up and down the iPad and start marking that up. But it's a lot of scrolling up and down. You can't see the whole race in your hand at one time. So I like to lay it on the table and look at everything at one picture rather than the scroll. I haven't got there yet. I'm still old school.
No, I'm 100% with you, John. I definitely am not a guy who I've seen guys at the track. They have their iPads or whatever they got, and they're got stuff scrolling around. I can't do it. I need paper. I need highlighters. I love highlighters. People actually get me highlighters for Christmas, John. I don't know if that's good or bad, but nevertheless, I get highlighters for Christmas. But a lot of interesting races. We will dive deeper into that once again when we get our Breeders' Cup shows. Super Breeders' Cup shows coming up. I just want to mention that we have a couple Breeders' Cup shows coming up on Thursday. We have a tremendous show from 7:30 to 8:30 right here on YouTube, Capital Sports Network. Be sure to tune into that. That is Thursday from 7:30 to 8:30, where myself and John Costin will be at it again with Gus Alonso and Ed DeRosa. And Ed DeRosa and John Costin will be at Del Mar live, whether they be trackside or bar side or wherever. John, we're looking forward to that. I know you are looking forward to that. When are you set to travel out there, John?
First thing on Thursday morning, so I'll get there 10:45 Thursday, just in time to be picked up and head over to Del Mar for the opening day of the Del Mar meet. And it'll be Thursday, a non-Breeders' Cup day, but we'll get a feel for the track, get our bearings straight. And the best part is seeing from all over the country,
Sure.
all my buddies in the industry, in the handicapping world, and just to hang out, relax, have a beer before the heavy lifting starts on Friday and Saturday.
The heavy lifting, I know, and you are also in a Breeders' Cup tournament.
Yeah, it's the biggest one of the year. It's the the granddaddy of them all. They could say it's a $10,000 buy-in for the tournament, and you have $7,500 in live money that you're betting. You could bet win, play, show, exacta, trifectas, and daily doubles. So whoever could turn their $7,500 bankroll into the biggest will win an additional like $300,000 prize, seats to the NHC, seats for next year's Breeders' Cup. So you get maybe top 20 get additional prizes in addition to your bankroll. Last year we made a nice run. We did have the bankroll up to like 25,000, put us in the top 15 on Saturday. Went for the gusto and start betting 5,000 a race. And then we took shot in the last race, and we whiffed the last three big bets we made, and wound up cashing for 17.5. So they handed me 17,500, and I left.
Hey, that's exciting, though, John, to even be in that position. And I know you'll keep us posted on how that's going as we move forward here. And we wish you Best of luck, John. I know you do put your work in. There's no doubt about it. You've been working hard. There's more work left to do on the Breeders' Cup, of course. But now let's get to today's action, John. Let's go through this pick 5 at Keeneland, beginning with race 6 that you put together. Again, I know you went back and forth. We were chit-chatting about it a little bit, where you were kind of thinking about how you wanted to structure the ticket. The tickets, I'll put it right up there now for you all to see. Like I said, John puts a lot of time into this, so pay attention to that because it is definitely worth it. So, John, why don't we take us through the sequence? It's up there right now.
Yep. Basically, and since I sent you that about a half hour ago, I changed my ticket again. So,
Well, what do you want me to change?
Three scratches in the first leg. So I'm singling the 1. I'm singling Wesley Ward's horse, the 1. Instead of going 10 out of 12 deep in the third race, I'm going to hit the all button. I'm not going to leave 2 out, and I can find a case for those 2, a little bit. So it'll look like 1 by 6-8 with the all button, with the 3-5, and then I was able to add in 2 more in the last race for a cheaper ticket. So in the last race, if you want to add for me the 4 and the 7, then it's a $144 ticket. But I'm leaning on a single in the first leg. So
okay, let me get back. Yeah, sure. Let me do that. You can start talking about it.
All right, I'll talk about it. You got that? I'm going to text it over to you while we talk.
Let me just pick it up for you. No, I got it.
All right, you got it. All right, so first race, 3 scratches, the 2, 3, and 4
So the
scratched
first
out.
leg, the first leg is single the 1.
Yeah, I'm going to single the 1. Wesley Ward did it so impressively.
And then the
on
second race
rail. Excuse me?
I got you the all button in the third leg, right?
All button in the third. And then in the last leg, I have room to add in the 4 and the 7.
So it'll be 1, 3, 4, 6, 7.
And 12. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 12. That would be a $144 ticket.
Because I know. And what's the cost?
$144.
Before I put up, let me just make sure, because I want our viewers to make sure we get this right. 1 with the 6-8 with all, with the 3-5, with the 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 12.
That's correct. $144.
All right, you got it. Bam. Apologize
All
for
right,
the
so
little.
thank you for.
Little thing, but hey, I want to make sure people want to look at it. I want to make sure we get it right. All right, let's go.
All right, so the first race with 4-horse race now. I mean, I got to lean on somebody there, and hopefully the favorite Spun DMC with Ortiz. I think that's like a fake number, that buyer of an 86. I'm not sure what he beat behind him. He was 12-1, and he did it easily there. But nothing behind him really came back to do anything or increase their buyers. So I'm looking at that race as, more of a fluke, and it's going to take the IRAD money. I'm just going to hope Velasquez steals it on the front end and gets out there and wires them from the rail. He took a lot of money his first start, 88 cents on a dollar at Keeneland in a full 11-horse field. So, he was well met there going 6. It wasn't one of the 4.5 furlong Wesley Ward horses that you see in the spring, that he's the only one that really has him ready at that point. This was in the fall meet at 6 furlong. So, I'm going to lean on him in a 4-horse race and hopefully get by, which by singling, now I could create value in the other legs and hope for more of a chaos underneath.
I love Johnny V on a speed horse too. Johnny V on a good horse that's got speed on the rail. I've seen him do it many times. I think that's a good way to start, John.
All right, so hopefully we get past that one there, and then we got coverage the rest of the way. This next race, the 6-horse Irad Ortiz, who I'm trying to beat in the first leg. Now I need him to say, let me look at these PPs and say, I got the speed here. Let me get out there and, just bottom them out. So I think the 6 should be lone speed and could carry him. Coming out of 3 graded races in a row, dropping into this allowance. Speed, Irad. The only problem is Irad's a little timid on the front end. He doesn't like to gun him, and it takes away the horse's best asset. If you got the speed, just go and, send him. But
Sure.
we'll see. Hopefully, get on the lead, control the pace, and draw off. The other one that could be close enough, who I like, is the 8 Brad Cox. Everything he's sending out now in the dirt's phenomenal. This horse, is 2 lengths away from being undefeated. So he definitely has the right running style in case the 6 doesn't get an easy lead. The 8 should be close enough and get first jump. The 1 with Pratt, definitely, the class of the field, but he always leaves himself way too much to do. And, I'm just hoping that he gets there. He needs pace to set up, and I don't see that pace in here. So I'm going to take a tactical horse, the 8, and the lone speed to maybe get through this leg.
Like it.
Next race, I, tried to, pick a couple horses, and I just kept finding cases for every single one. And then I'm at the end there, and there's like 4 of them that I could, maybe not use. Then I'm like, all right, I'm going to throw Final Gambit, the horse that we were all over as an underneath horse in the Derby. Horse we chased all spring. I'm going to leave him out. He's going to beat me now at 6-1. So I got to throw him in. And then,
love Final Gambit.
And then jump Dream On in the last second. I just looked. I was going to leave him off my ticket early this morning, but then when I look at it, he's always right there. He gets the right trip. He can light up the board at 40-1. So I almost have to hit the all button here.
Sure.
The ones I like the best are the Belmont Irad Ortiz Stimulate, but he's going to take Irad money. I don't know what happened in the Nashville Derby. He was like all over the place in there, started to move up, then he got shuffled back. And then that Kentucky Downs form, I don't, some horses just hate that track. I'm going to just chalk it up to that. The 9 Giacoso with Ben Curtis got, dream trip in the Secretariat at Colonial, followed it up with a nice run there in, Kentucky Downs. So he's in shape right now. The 11 and the 12, Salamis, if you say it, with Pratt, he looks tactical from the outside, if Pratt could get the right trip. So I see this coming down to a trip race. Whoever gets, the best trip, even the horses on the inside, I can't eliminate any of them at those big numbers. So I think it's a good race to, spread out and go all, or use as many as you possibly can here. So
sure.
That race has me. It's like a Breeders' Cup race to me, just at a lower scale.
Chaos. You're looking for chaos.
We want chaos. And the worst thing we could do now is if you go deep there and the favorite, the 9, Giacoso, wins and pays, $8, then you're kicking yourself for wasting your whole ticket. Comes down to, not guessing the right all sequence.
Well, let's hope we did it. Let's hope for some chaos. And I agree.
Let's hope we get past the first leg. Let's hope we're into the second leg where we have a shot to root for chaos. That's my big root. Let's see, the 9th race, the last graded race of the Keeneland Fall Meet, Grade 3, Fayetteville. A lot of big names in this horse, in this race. Some youngers facing the olders now. You got horses like Gosker and Bracket Buster who've been on the Kentucky Derby Trail, the Travers Trail. Now, they're going to be facing olders. Hit Show, who is Dubai World Cup winner, $12 million Dubai World Cup. So the horse on his right day can do it. Would not shock me. Rattle and Roll. He is what did he win? The Saudi Arabia race. He won one of those big races over there. Destroyed the field by 5. So they can do it on their best day, but Rattle and Roll looks like he has more knocks against them now. Hit Show, I think, maybe a little bit more of a shot. But I'm going to lean on the Now horse, Bracket Buster, with Johnny Velasquez. The 3 horse, lean on him. And the horse I'm picking on top, I think, Moonlight, the 5. If you throw out that Indiana race where it was such a speed bias, anybody was sitting first, second, and third the whole day, ran around there and won on that July 5th. That was one of their big cards, and it was a conveyor belt. So I'm going to put a line through that race. The other 3 races, absolutely, 3 wins. Chris Block brought him into this race, perfect. Second off the layoff, stretching out a little further. Tactical will be closing. So I'm going to put Moonlight on top and use Bracket Buster as, the Now horse. Going to try to beat Dragoon Guard, who basically, he's been, facing those lower, lesser, and now this is stepping up against, some proven commodities here. So I'm going to try to beat Dragoon Guard, especially at the low 7-2 odds. Gosker, have all the respect in the world for Gosker, and he could easily jump up and win this race. But ticket
Absolutely.
structure. That would be my next ad. If you wanted to add the 10 in this race, he'd be my third ad, and I would, live and die with that. But for, budget purposes, I don't like to go too deep.
No, I again, John, once again, you put together a tremendous ticket. I am definitely going to look forward to seeing that sequence play out. And like you said, if we get past that first leg, you've got a lot of good opportunities to make some money there, particularly with that all button where we get a little chaos. Certainly that Fayetteville race is a big race, a lot of big horses in that race, a lot of names that we all know and recognize, and horses that we've seen run. So I think that ticket gives you an opportunity to put down a few bucks and then win back a whole lot of bucks if we get some chaos going. I think that's our new word here, John. I think we're going to be using that word chaos for like about another 7 days. I think. What do you think?
We need chaos in the right Breeders' Cup races. So when we lean on somebody, we
So-
don't need chaos. When we don't lean on somebody, we need chaos. So got to use chaos in the right race.
Yeah, so we'll call it selective chaos.
We need selective.
Yeah, we're coming up with a lot of terms. We got the chit chat cha-ching. We got that. We got the root order. I think we need to put together. We need to put together a little let it run dictionary. What do you think, John?
We could come up with that. That'll be one of our podcasts that we'll do just strictly on our invented terminology and definitions.
I like it. So hey, listen. So before we let you
How
go
about we go to
continue,
the last race, Fred? How we're going to get paid? Can I talk about the last race?
let's do that. Yes, we need to do that.
We're not going to leave the viewers hanging on the last leg. So
I want to see if everybody else is paying attention, John. And you were.
All right. Like I mentioned yesterday's Happy Hour podcast, I was going to single the 6, and I still would make him my top pick in here. But the more I'm looking at it, these maiden special weights on the grass, a 1.125 mile, last race at Keeneland. I mean, anything can happen, and I would like some coverage. And the way, I leaned on the 1 in the first leg and then the 3 and the 5, I went shorter in a couple other legs. I had room to go a little deeper here, but if I was up against it, I would single the 6 at 10-1. But Danny Gargan, I mean, he's definitely not having a good meet here. His horses are not even hitting the board. So that's the only thing. If it was another trainer, I probably, would lean on a lot more. So the 1, ran with him originally. So he got better with his second start. Maybe he could save some ground on the rail. 3, Practical Joker, got stuck both times at the start, had really tough trips at Delaware and Colonial. Now Mike Stidham is sending him here. And when he adds blinkers, he's 5 for his last 10 on maidens.
Wow.
You could definitely see in the form there. He's, 27% on his last 30 when he adds blinkers. But when he does it with a maiden, he's 5 out of his last 10. So, that's a major move there.
Tremendous.
Got it,
Yes.
Brandon Walsh, first time starter of the 4. Tough to leave Brendan Walsh off anything he sends out, especially Tyler seeing fit to ride there. And the other one, Dallas Stewart. It's always good to see Dallas maybe go out on a bang, winning the last race, and he's not afraid to run his horses in spots that sometimes look a little over their heads. But throw Dallas in, and then the other one with experience on the outside, the 12. Just got to work out a trip, from out there with Nick Juarez. So a little coverage if we get to the last. That's it.
How many, what's the total number of horses in that field in the last leg, John?
There are 12.
Okay, so you got half the field covered. I think if we get to that race, I would love to see Will Pays. I know we all like to see Will Pays, and that certainly would be a good opportunity to keep us moving in the right direction and rolling along as we get to the Breeder Cup coming up next week on Friday and Saturday. So, John, I like the ticket. I'll keep it up there for a while. I know you are going to get back and dive deep once again into some more Breeders' Cup action. You're going to take a break at all today, John? Any kind of break in the action?
Yes, we have a wedding to attend at 4:00. My future son-in-law, Connor, his older brother, is getting married today. So we'll be attending the wedding.
Tom is well, congrats to Tom.
Tom and Alex. Yep.
Excellent.
So that'll be my afternoon. So I'm going to take a recharge break and have a happy hour for about 4 happy hours.
Okay. Well, listen, that's great. You have a great time time there today, John. At the wedding. I know you will enjoy yourself. It's a good crowd you'll be hanging out with. I know that for sure. And once again, for the race tomorrow at Churchill Downs, the Street Sense, John and I yesterday on our Happy Hour podcast made our picks. I'll refresh our memories. John, I went with the 2 Ganis at 5-1. Like him as a speed horse. He has to prove himself on 2 turns. I think he may very well do that. And John, you could refresh our memory on the horse that you liked.
I thought I saw a putty cat. I did.
There you go. That's who you like, and I like the way you put it that way. That's going to be the talk of the racing world tomorrow. I saw a putty cat. I did. Anybody who knows those old time cartoons will enjoy it. So, John, on that note, my friend, I'm going to say goodbye, and you have a great time. And always, once again, great talking to you. We'll look forward to seeing how these picks play out for us and for you and for our fans of Let 'Em Run. And don't forget, just real quickly, we have our Breeders' Cup show Thursday, 7:30 to 8:30, and on Friday from 3 to 4:30 on YouTube, Capital Sports Network. So, John, once again, I'll let you close out with our tagline and say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody, and let 'em run. And listen to Fred with Belmont coming up. Showcase day today over there. All right.
All
See
right,
you guys.
John. Thanks, brother. Later. All right, John. Once again, thank you for putting all that information together as you always do. I look forward to seeing how that pick 5 plays out for you at Keeneland. Today is the last day at Keeneland, and a lot of times on the last day at a lot of races, at racetracks, the last day, some crazy stuff can happen. So just put up my pick 5 sequence there. I'll go over some of the horses here that I like. And if you had an opportunity, or you should, I would recommend you get an opportunity to check out Sports Talk Florida on the web. They have all the articles that I write that include our top pick and top contenders. If you stayed with us last week, we hit lots of top picks and top contenders in each of the races. In fact, every race we had at least our top pick and top contender come through in first, and that was nice to see. There was some chalk involved. In fact, it was kind of interesting because each winner that we picked in each race, the value went up. And in the 5th race, the winner paid $11.62, and the pick 6, the pick 5 ticket paid $160 something. Paid $360. It cost about $150. So we missed a couple of prices here and there, but we have a ticket that we put together today that we'll go over. It's up there for you to check it out. So let me go over the horses that we picked and why we like them. It starts in race 7. We went 4 deep there. The 2, 4, 5, and the 8. The 2 is Bernie Takes Charge. I really like this horse as a speed horse. In fact, he could have been my speed play of the day, but I went with another horse, which we'll get to in one of the other races. Another speed horse. This horse in the last race, I mean, it was back in August, but boy, he ran against Torpedo Hannah, Darth Vader. He was Fraxis at the gate. I mean, he didn't run a very good race, but he was up against it there. The race before that, he showed excellent speed, put up a 94 Beyer speed figure in the Critical Eye 200K race down in Saratoga. So he raced against some quality race horses. Race before that was in the mud, didn't like it at all. Again, and the race before that, he ran real well. I think this horse certainly has a good chance to wire the field. But if he has a little trouble like he sometimes shows, it could be a little difficult for him to get out there. I wanted to have some coverage, so we went with the 4 horse. Another horse in here who looks like he's going to be one right up there with the front runners. That's K-Cup, ridden by Manny Franco, trained by one of 3 horses here in for Jorge Abreu, though he did scratch the 7 Fast and Frisky, so now he only has 2 horses in the leg. The 4 horse, again, been off since August, so it's got a little layoff, but Jorge Abreu is very good off the layoff. He hits at about 27%. This horse always puts out a good effort, runs very well, has 4 lifetime races, 2 wins, 1 second, and 1 third. So that is definitely another horse that we have 3-1. Then I went with a little bit of a not a big price, but a price horse that has a good chance, 4-1, Vehemente, ridden by Kendrick Caramouche. Caramouche knows this horse well. This horse is a real trier. He loves Belmont at the Big A. Been there 5 times, won 3 times. came in second once, came in third once. So he likes the track. And when Joe Sharp, who's a great turf trainer, gets together with Caramoose, they win at 36%. So that horse has a little value to him. And then the last horse in the sequence that we put up there is the 8 horse. I really like this horse too. 6-1. He's on the outside. He's got a good closing kick. Chris Elliott is riding very well. Maybe has to step up a little bit in class here to make it happen, but I don't think that's a problem. So we have some value in there with those 4 horses to get through the first leg. And now we'll go ahead into the next race, the 8th race, 6.5 furlongs, the Iroquois, another stakes race for fillies and mares, 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. We went 4 deep here as well. Again, 3, 4, 6, 8. 3 horse could be possibly a single. I didn't think I wanted to single in here because, again, I just think things can break down, and I didn't want to get, there's a couple you'll see in the next races that I talk about, a horse or two that I really like strongly, and you'll see that when we get there. But this horse, the number 3, My Main Squeeze, Morning Line, 8-5, ridden by Ricardo Santana, trained by Michael Maker, another horse that loves Belmont at the Big A. He's been here 5 times, won 3 times, came in third 2 times, so it's certainly a horse for course for sure. Last race, got eased, got walked off the track. Don't know exactly what happened. Obviously, he worked out pretty well since then, so I don't think there's anything wrong. But the 2 races back, wow, 100 buyer speed figure, put that field away, decent field. And so I think if he runs back to that race, he's going to be tough. But again, he's been off a while. We don't know exactly. He looked good in his last race, but he's been off a while. So clearly may have needed a little break there. So the 4 horse is our price horse, Stone Smuggler. Again, trained by Jorge Abreu, ridden by Manny Franco. Very good, aggressive jockey. I think he's going to try and get this horse out to the lead in this 6.5 furlong race. Jorge Abreu wins 23% at stakes races. That's a pretty good venue. This horse is second off the layoff. He's got pretty good early speed, and he's 12-1 in the morning line. That would certainly add a little value to our pick 4 ticket. And of course, Manny Franco is always good to have in your corner. Another value horse is Stonewall Star, the number 6 horse, 8-1, ridden by Dylan Davis. Love Dylan Davis on a horse that has speed, but can also be a horse that does not need the lead. 89 buyer speed figure, last out in the Bay Ridge Bay Stakes, 100,000 stakes race, ran very well. Another horse that loves Belmont at the Aqueduct, run 9 times here, has won 5 times, and came in third, second. So came in third 1 time. So certainly another horse for the course. There's no question that this horse has a chance at 8-1, particularly with Dylan Davis on it, who is one of the better closers that there is. The last horse we have in the sequence is the 8 horse. I think this horse has a really good chance to win. Obviously, you're talking about Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado. When you put them together in any kind of stakes race, that's pretty serious. He's 5-2. Last race, it was in a grade 2 race, and held his own pretty well in a decent sized field with 8 horses. It was at the same distance. It was at Belmont at the Aqueduct, but this certainly is a big drop in class and gives this horse a big chance at 5-2. So that is our 4 horses, the 3, the 4, the 6, and the 8 in the second leg. So let's move on to the 9th race, the third leg in this sequence, the Ticonderoga, another stakes race, this one on turf, a 1.16 miles on turf for fillies and mares, once again with 9 horses entered. I went kind of skinny here. I'll use my man Johnny Costin's term. Went a little skinny here with just the 1 and the 5, and particularly the 1, Spinning Colors, morning line 3-1. This is my speed play of the day. I think this horse is going to get away. He's on the rail. He's got Dylan Davis on him. Dylan Davis has not been on this horse yet, but I understand that Dylan Davis, and I know Dylan Davis can certainly get a horse out to the front. He's had a little trouble in his last couple races holding on to the lead, but I think this race is going to be an opportunity for him because I see him as possibly the only speed in the race, and I know that Dylan Davis will be prepared for that when he gets him out there. If this horse does not hit the front like we think he would, the other horse that we picked up is the number 5, Moonage Daydream, ridden by Manny Franco, who again is getting on this horse for the first time. Again, another horse trained by Jorge Abreu. And this horse is, again, a horse for course. 8 times he's been here at the Belmont at the Aqueduct, has won 5 times, come in third 1 time, so loves this course. Very consistent horse when you look at his Beyer speed figures. Put up last 2 times out an 89 Beyer. Very competitive with this field. One of the horses I didn't put on my ticket, just not sure how he might play out here, is the Awesome Check, number 4, ridden by Ricardo Santana, trained by Horacio De Paz. Did not use him on a ticket. Certainly, if you wanted to increase the value of your ticket or the cost of your ticket and give you an opportunity, you might think of that horse. But I went with the 1 and 5, particularly the 1 as my speed play of the day, Spinning Colors at 3 to 1. So let's keep an eye on that. I mean, his early pace figure is 114. There's not even one horse in here who has a pace figure of triple digits. Actually, Golden Rocket, it barely breaks it with Jamie Ness as a trainer. He has speed, but I don't think he's quite in the same class as the 1 horse. And certainly the 1 horse on the rail has a much better advantage. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the 10th race. That is the Empire Classic, a $250,000 race on dirt at 1 mile and an eighth. I went with 3 horses here, the 1, the 2, and the 5. On the rail, we have Doc Sullivan, ridden by Joel Rosario, trained by John Ortiz. This horse has been in some classy races the last couple races out. The Forestburg grade 3 race, the Forgo grade 1 race. So a very classy horse, and certainly likes Belmont at the Aqueduct. Again, 11 times been here, won 3 times, came in second 3 times, came in third twice. So, again, when John Ortiz puts Joel Rosario on a horse, they're often very strong together. And I think Joel Rosario, certainly with his ability as a jockey, can give this horse the right trip he needs. I think he's going to keep him up close. There is some speed in this race that might get away. I don't think Rosario will let them get too far away, and the horse has a lot of class. The other 2 horses, the number 2 right next door is Iron Dome, trained by Steve Asmussen and ridden by Ricardo Santana. Again, a distance player here. He hasn't raced before at Belmont at the Aqueduct, but raced frequently at Saratoga. He has raced at this distance 5 times, won 3 times, and came in second 1 time. So certainly a horse for distance. Ran in the Oklahoma Derby last time, grade 3 race. Ran very competitively, put up a 95 Beyer speed figure. That sits very well in this field. If he runs a race back to that, he's going to be kind of tough to beat. And then the other last horse we used in this race was the 5 horse Bank Frenzy. It's been a little while since he's been out, been off since July. Doc Sullivan beat him in that race. So that's, again, another reason to give Doc Sullivan the edge. But this horse, again, loves Belmont at the Aqueduct. 10 times, came in first 6 times, came in second 3 times. Manny Franco is on this horse, knows this horse very well. I think they gave him a break because he looks like his form was trailing off. He had won 4 in a row and then finished in the grade 3 race, no disgrace, finished 4th there, won again in the stakes race at this level at Saratoga, and then had a little trouble in the last race. He was in the mud. Don't think he liked the mud very well. Got very tired late in that race, which often horses do in the mud. And he runs well in the mud, but that day he didn't run well. They gave him a break, a little time off. He's ready to come back. So in that race, we used the 1, 2, and the 5. Race 11, a tough race. This is a race where, it's a maiden special weight. So there's obviously, again, I'm going to use John's word or John's term. There could be some chaos here. And if there's chaos here, it's going to create some problems. I'm not so sure there's going to be a lot of chaos in this race. I went only 2 deep with the 5 and 9. I almost considered singling the 5, asking for a friend. 3 to 1 morning line, trained by Michael Maker, ridden by Ricardo Santana. I really like this horse because he's cutting back to 1 mile. His last race out was 1 mile and 16th on the turf at Belmont at the Aqueduct. Put up some very good fractions to get the lead, but then just ran out of gas in the stretch and came in 4th. Only finished 4th by 2.5 lengths. So that wasn't too bad. So I think the cut back to 1 mile for this horse is going to be big. I think there's some upside to him. His Beyer speed figures went up. They're going up, and I think he's got a good chance to have a big race here and finally get his picture taken in the winner's circle. The second horse we used in this big field was the 9, New York Scrappy. This horse has certainly continued to have Beyer speed figures that are going in the right direction. And I think This horse had a morning line of 7-2, had a little time off since October. It's been almost a year. And sometimes that can turn some bettors off to think that a horse is off for a year. Don't doubt that. But I think at this distance, he's been working out extremely well for the return. Looks like he could be fresh and could be ready to bust out in a big way. So again, in that race, we went with the 5 and the 9. Our ticket is still up there for you to look at. If you check it out on X, I'll put the ticket up there as well for you to look at and take a look at. And I want to just take a minute to say thank you to our sponsors again, who are helpful in getting us up and running here every week. Case's Pork Roll, family owned and operated since 1870. Try Case for the taste. You won't be disappointed. If there's any pork roll lovers out there, you got to give that a chance. And also the vape shop in Hamilton, located on Route 33. They have all your vape supplies and a full selection of top-selling CBD. So don't forget to give them a chance and check them out. Other thing I want to make sure you talk about is our show that we have coming up again on Thursday at 7:30 to 8:30. Thursday, 7:30 to 8:30, where myself, John Costin, and some special guests, Gus Alonso and Ed DeRosa, will be joining us. Again, I mentioned this before. John and Ed will be at Keeneland. That'll be very cool to see that. And then on Friday from 3 to 4:30, we'll again have another show that will continue to talk about them as well. So once again, we wish you the best of luck. We thank you for checking in with Let 'Em Run, and let 'em run.